UCF football fans, meet your new head coach, Gus Malzahn. Now, for people who are familiar with our show, in case you're wondering, wow, that sounds familiar, or in case people in college are like, wow, why does that sound familiar? It's because Gus Malzahn was the head coach of Auburn for quite some time. He recently got fired before this. I'm sorry. Right after the season ended, him and Auburn parted ways. Best way to describe it. I don't want to use the word fired because he didn't really nothing. It wasn't like anything huge where he got fired for it. He just decided to part ways. You guys get what I'm saying. But anyway, so from the athletic director Terry Mohajer, I think I probably butchered that, but just hear me out here. Terry Mohajer described Malzahn as a national brand coach whose arrival will only help UCF continue to emerge as a football school trying to break its way into the establishment. So look, I'm gonna go over a little bit with you guys in his career with Auburn. So he was fired in December 13th after 8 seasons at Auburn. He has an overall record of 68-35 and 39-27 in the SEC. He took the Tigers to the national championship game in his first season in 2013. They won 10 games and made an SEC championship game appearance in 2017, but went just 14-12 against SEC opponents over the next 3 seasons. So basically, the reason why he was fired from Auburn is because even though he was a very good head coach for Auburn, it seemed like for against SEC teams, which in his defense, SEC teams are some of the most overpowered teams in the conference. We talking about LSU, we talking about Alabama, we're talking about Auburn's up there. We're talking about I think Texas is there. They got some really
Clemson,
really
Clemson,
Clemson.
Ohio State.
They're not in SEC.
Oh, they're
They're
not in the
in
SEC.
No, Ohio State, I think, is Big Ten, and Clemson is ACC, so they're not part of it. But
Okay.
for Florida State, I think, is another one. Florida State's a very good SEC team too. So yes, I mean that's the number one reason why, like, I believe they got rid of him, and that's probably the reason why. So I mean, with this being said, Nate, let me start off with this, okay? I think this is very good for UCF. All right, because here's the thing: UCF is not obviously every team is trying to break into that top four to win a national championship. Don't get me wrong, but UCF isn't that team that's usually in it. You understand what I'm saying? I remember though. UCF went 2 straight years without losing. They had an undefeated record for 2 straight years. Back then, they had Mike Hughes, the corner. They had the Griffin brothers were there, Trey Flowers. So it's been a few years now, but I remember they were undefeated for quite some time, Nate. So UCF, I mean, they had their success in football. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember watching the game that they lost, and I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this team's never lost in 2 years. Obviously, was the competition that they were playing, was it equivalent to like an Alabama or an LSU or a Clemson? No, the competition there was a lot bigger because, again, like I said, the SEC. You know what I'm saying? Was it as big as like the Big Ten's competition with Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, and all them? Wisconsin? No. Why? Because Big Ten's competition, I think, is bigger than the UCF's competition. But I think this is a good signing for UCF football. In case people are wondering, Gus Malzahn will be the head coach for 5 years, and his contract was worth 11.5 million, or is worth, excuse me, 11.5 million. So, hey, look, all I gotta say about this, Nate, is I think UCF really got a very good head coach here that can help elevate UCF into becoming one of those big name football teams like they used to be. And with that being said, I wish Gus Malzahn the best of luck, and I wish UCF the best of luck. And before I pass it on to you, this article was written by Audrey Adelson, ESPN senior writer. So I'll pass it on to you now, Nate.
Right. I'll just pick up from there. Congratulations to Gus Malzahn. And if you guys recognize his name or don't, we made a video about it a couple months ago. I will leave that in the description down below if you guys want to go check that out. Um, yeah, I mean, I think this is a good hire. But one thing I always talk about with coaches, and I talked about it with this I forgot what college. I know we talked about some college coach got like extended for like 10 years. I forgot his name. Hold on, and I said it there, and I say it with every coach. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Nick Fitzgerald. It was the
Yeah.
coach for see, now I forgot the team that he coached for.
It's whatever. It's
Damn.
whatever.
Nick Fitzgerald.
It's whatever. I'll put that video in the description down below too if you guys want to check that out and see what I mean. But I said it with him, and I'm gonna say it here. You got to maintain that consistency as a coach. You know what I mean? I say it with every coach too, really. But I said it. I said it more specifically with that coach because he's got a 10-year extension, so that should be more than enough time to win yourself a championship or at least make one or maybe two or three. I don't know. You count the numbers for me. Same thing with 5 years. 5 years more than enough time to make it to one championship. It's less. Is it less years than 10 years? Absolutely. But it's more than
If,
enough time to at least make one. But one thing I want to say about the coaches is that you got to keep that consistency. You make one championship, all right. You're like it's hard to go back to back. You're absolutely correct, but you got to maintain the consistency of being a championship contender. You know what I mean? I talked about it with Doug Peterson. That's something that he failed at. He created a Super Bowl team, but after that, they weren't really a Super Bowl team. He didn't maintain that consistency as a head coach. You know what I mean? I talked about that with him a lot. Same thing with unfortunately Ron Rivera. He took the Panthers to a Super Bowl. They lost, but he couldn't maintain that Super Bowl team status. That's what I expect Gus Malzahn to do, which I'm pretty sure he'll do. I mean, he's not a bad coach. I think he's a good coach. So hopefully, I do wish him the best of luck in UCF. I hope he brings him to a championship. And good luck to UCF and good luck to Gus
absolutely.
Malzahn.
And before you I'm sorry to cut you off, but before you end this video, I got the name where it was Pat Fitzgerald, and he was the head coach of Northwestern.
Okay. All right, I'll put that in the description down below for you guys to go check out. But with that said, congratulations to Gus Malzahn and UCF, and good luck to both.